Visit our snack shack. The snack shack is now open. Sausages and hot dogs and hamburgers. Sliders, pizza, pretzel.
Hold on, I'm ready on Spanish!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Governor Livingston High School. My name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining us today on Governor Livingston High School television, on YouTube and or Facebook. It is a beautiful mid-70s day out here on the hill at Plainfield at Governor Livingston High School, where we are watching what should be a great matchup for Friday Night Lights between the Governor Livingston Highlanders and the South Plainfield Tigers. Both teams at 2-2 currently. This a relatively recently developed matchup. There's only been 3 matches between these two teams in their history. The series is currently 2-1 in Governor Livingston High School's favor. GL lost the first one, 47-22, but since then, for 2 years, in 2023 and 2024, has pulled it back playing South Plainfield on Friday Night Lights every year and beating them for the past 2. We should have a good one cooking up for us tonight as your Governor Livingston Highlanders prepare to run down the hill and get us one step closer to kicking off this game for Friday Night Lights. The students are out in force tonight. They got painted up before game behind the school. Not sure how many there are, but it's got to be a few hundred at least. We're looking at a high energy game here, folks. Both 2-2 teams. South Plainfield made a bit of an improvement since last year, as the Highlanders run down the hill. Ladies and gentlemen, your Governor Livingston Highlander football team. But to return to what I was saying, South Plainfield currently at 2-2, correction. Last year through 4 games, they were 1-3. Eventually pulled it back to 5-5, went perfect 500 on the season. Same thing as Governor Livingston High School did. GL was 1-3 through the first 4 games. Only win coming against North Plainfield. Only one coming against North Plainfield, played South Plainfield, got their second win of the season, and it was up and up from there as they finished the season 500. Of course, that is under the leadership of Coach Pete Remicchio. He's led this Governor Livingston High School team for coming up on his 4th year this season. Past 3 seasons, he's had 1 winning season, 1 losing season, and 1 season perfect 500. In his first 2 seasons, made it to the state playoffs through the PowerPoint system, and lost to Summit both times. The first year he was head coach in 2022, he lost 57-8 against Summit, and the second year in 2023 he lost 42-14. Last year the Highlanders did not make the playoffs, played a postseason consolation game in replacement, got a win there over I want to say ALJ, but it'll take me a while to flip back to it. Got a win there to bring themselves perfect 500. It was Scotch Plains Fanwood that they beat in that 10th and final game of the season to go 5-5. Beautiful, beautiful sky tonight. The moon rising in the east over Governor Livingston High School. It'll get darker though, and we'll see those lights kick on, and that's when the fun will really begin as we get ready for our national anthem. and gentlemen, your national anthem. Nice performance there. And we will shortly have our coin toss as the referees gather the captains from both sides and prepare to walk them out to midfield on that GL logo. The Highlanders currently looking at a pretty tough schedule ahead. Of course, playing South Plainfield tonight. Next week they travel to Arthur L. Johnson High School to play a 7 p.m. Friday Night Lights game under the lights at Johnson. And then they host Voorhees, an absolute thriller of a game last year, capped off by Kamir McLean returning a kickoff for a touchdown to win the game 50-46. That one down in Voorhees last time, a bit over an hour away, but this year they're coming up to us. After that, the Highlanders will face Bernards. Last year, a disappointing loss, 34-7. A bit of a better performance all around from Bernards. And finally, the Highlanders will host New Brunswick at 1 p.m. on the 25th of next month, that is, not this month, because that was yesterday. South Plainfield has a similarly difficult schedule. Next week, they go and face Bernards. Sorry, next week the Tigers will host Bernards, then they'll travel to New Brunswick, and then finally to finish out their season, they'll host South River and Island Kennedy. GL having a win over Island Kennedy earlier in this season, got their first win in a 36-28 competitive match. As you can see a shot of that beautiful sky, as well as the Highlanders and the Tigers getting ready for kickoff. Fortunately, our press box has been taken down, so the speakers that we're using are not quite as good, and I can't quite hear our PA announcer, so I'm not sure who won the coin toss. I believe the Highlanders are set to receive right now, so who knows whether South Plainfield won and deferred, but either way, we are seconds from getting this game kicked off. And believe me, this should be a good one. For those of you just joining us, my name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining me for this Friday Night Lights matchup between your Governor Livingston Highlanders and the South Plainfield Tigers here on Governor Livingston High School television on YouTube and/or Facebook. It's a great matchup. Should be a great matchup. As the Highlanders get ready to return, Mateo Laloya taking this back, getting up near the 40, pushed down. Finally, leave on the 45. South Plainfield believes they recovered the ball. I believe they did. So an opening kickoff fumble for the Highlanders. Catastrophe striking, but potentially not. Correction. Mateo Laloya was down. The way the first down markers were set up, it did look like it was the other way around, but the Highlanders will start on offense. And we'll get the first look at this Highlanders offense on this Friday Night Lights. Laloya lined up with Labisi behind him, and Tommy Fettis to his right. Labisi having a huge game in the matchup against Island Kennedy 2 weeks ago. 5 touchdowns, all 5 of the Highlanders scores to his name, as Laloya will run it up the gut and get a pretty decent game there on first down, bringing up a second and medium. This Highlander offense was unfortunately had to resort to a freshman quarterback for 2 games. Colin Hughes, he went 19 for 20, 74 yards, 1 interception. Laloya, on the other hand, he's only made 15 pass attempts as he hands this one off to Dominic Labisi, who will go to the outside at first and then cut it up the middle. and get close to a first down. If not a first down, I believe he'll be a yard or two short. But Loyola only attempting 15 passes less than he uses 20. But he's got 57 yards, no interceptions, hasn't thrown a touchdown. Every touchdown for this Highlander team has come off of the ground game. Tommy Fettis picking up 1, Elijah Garcia picking up 3, Colin Hughes, the freshman who came in, has 1, and Dominic Labisi with 5 touchdowns. Had one called back in the first game. It would have been a great run with 50-plus yarders. Loyola will keep this one and try to run it for the first down. He'll be spun down just short from what the refs are marking. It will be short. It'll be a 4th down, and the Highlanders offense will stay out on the field. But it'll be a referee's timeout. And they'll declare a first down. First Highlander first down of the night. Man, already off to a good start for the Highlanders. Haven't won a game at home, haven't gotten the first score at home, haven't had the first down at home yet. They had 2 tough matchups to start off the year, of course, but Lakeland and New Providence, a local rivalry, always a tough one. But either way, didn't score until that second New Prov game. Mason Barker had the chance to put one up on the board in the first game. Correction, put a field goal up on the board in the first game, but just missed. As here's a handoff to Dominic Labisi, and he'll be taken down short of the first down. Second and what looks to be about 2nd and 2. Again, I cannot hear our PA, unfortunately, so if I get the down and distance wrong, I apologize. Same backfield set. Loyola will keep it for himself. He'll cut up the middle. He has 2 blockers in front of him. Finally brought down from behind after a nice gain and a first down. He'll get down inside the 30-yard line, or maybe just to it. But either way, that'll be good enough for a Highlanders first down. And the Highlanders on a roll for this first drive. In the backfield again. 1-man set in the backfield, only Dominic Labisi behind him. A lot of men up on the line. Labisi will try and run it up the middle, waits for his blockers. Pushed backward after being swarmed. And that'll be number 8. Aiden Noblikia, apologies. Aiden Noblikia getting to him first and starting that push back, but a loss of yardage for the Highlanders. They'll be pushed back to what looks like a 2nd and 12. No pass plays yet. All rushes. Very ground-heavy game that Coach Pete Michio runs. Been mildly successful for him. But we'll see how it runs now. Tommy Fettis motioning across. Loyola will hand it off. This is Garcia. Garcia tucking his head, diving up the gut. And he will be... We'll set up a 3rd and 8 for the Highlanders. So first 3rd and long. We'll see what Coach Pete Remicchio calls up for this one. As we've already had, close to 5 minutes tick off the clock. Run heavy game, of course. Burns a lot of clock. One of the advantages. You don't score a lot, but you hope you limit the other offense as well. Heavy line set, 2-man in the backfield. Run for Elijah Garcia. He'll cut up to the left. It'll be short of first down by about 3 yards. And we'll see if we have a Mason Barker attempt here, or if Michio will keep the offense out on the field. Mason Barker, he's had 2 attempts from the 30-plus range. Hasn't hit either of them. The aforementioned attempt in the first game, which he missed, which would have put the first points of the season up on the board for the Highlanders. second points of this, or the actual first points of the season came in that second game against New Prague with a huge rushing touchdown for, I believe it was Elijah Garcia. Broke one off for 50, I want to say it was 58. You can go back and check that. But no, offense will stay out on the field. So a fourth down play here, a fake, a lot of pressure in the backfield, a throw and an incompletion intended to target Tommy Fettis, but just couldn't get the ball to him. And the Tigers will get a fourth down stop and get possession of the ball. So, a first look at this Tigers offense, and immediately referees will stop play. Not sure what for. Respotting the ball, apparently. Either way, Tigers will get ready for their first possession. Still in their offensive formation will be number 12 in the backfield, Hayden Hook. And Hull started off with a play going out wide. That was number 6 on the rushing attempt, Dominic Massaro, and he was swarmed in the backfield for a loss of what looks like about 3. Pushing the Tigers back into their own red zone. Behind the 20-yard line, where it looks like the 19 from the spot of the ball. Motion across the formation, handoff to number 1, Jaden Jones. He'll go off the middle end. Make it just back to the original first down line of scrimmage, maybe 1 yard further. Hook under center. He'll hand it off, and that'll be a wrap up in the backfield. King Hills held to a stop. We'll set up a 4th and 9 for South Plainfield, and they'll run their punt team out. Highlanders getting a 3 and out on their first defensive drive, and the Tigers having a bit of difficulties making the movement work. Tigers will fake a run play, but eventually number 3, Kenneth Young, will go back there to punt this one away. Low punt, finally got it away. This one looks like it might be a bit of a dribbler. Makes it just past the 50, and it'll hold up right around the 45. Tigers urging it to roll more, but it'll be picked up at the 35-yard line. So the Highlanders will start with pretty decent field position. Mateo Laloya electing not to return that one. And he'll bring the offense back out onto the field for 1st and 10 from the 35. We'll see what we'll have dialed up for this one. 4:06 left on the clock. Not a lot left in the first quarter. Already 8 minutes passed by. Handoff here. That is, can't quite see the number. That is number 28. Elijah Garcia on the carry. We'll get a gain of just about 2, maybe 3. Can't quite see from the spot, but a 2nd and long for the Highlanders. Backfield. Tommy Fetta setting up a block for Garcia. Garcia getting maybe just back to the line of scrimmage, potentially 1 yard further. But either way, a short game, bringing up a 3rd and long. Looks to be a 3rd and 6, so. A run play is not highly advised, but it would be viable if they give it to Dominic Labisi and he can rip one up the gut for a decent amount. Labisi is in the backfield. Standing there as Colin Hughes has made the move in. Maybe a bit of a run formation here. He'll actually look to throw or roll out left, throw this one, and that one will be knocked down. Intended target number 85, Mark Caparelli. It'll bring up a 4th down, and the Highlanders will likely punt this one away. .259 left on the clock, so just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. No scores yet on the board. The Highlanders out in a punt formation. Mason Barker back to boot this one away. He'll get it off, and that is a pretty good one. It'll dribble down to almost the 20-yard line, finally be picked up by David Dorsett at the 21. Correction, the 16-yard line. That rolled a bit past the 20. So South Plainfield will start in their own zone. Pretty back and forth game so far. Pretty decent game so far, as I've just lost my view of the entire game. Of course, I'm sitting at behind the trailer for Governor Livingston High School television, and my television's just turned off. So missing a pretty key part. I will try and fix it, but I cannot see the play as of right now. I do apologize. I'm trying to fix this real quick. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I am without a TV right now. Unfortunately, I cannot do any commentating because I can't see the game. So while I get Mr. Voorhees, our TV advisor, down here, I will do absolutely nothing. You'll have to enjoy the sounds of the crowd, I suppose. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for that little interruption. We're back. Less than a minute left on the clock here. South Plainfield Pioneers. Clock continuing to run. As we're having some issues back here. My TV is flashing on and off now, and I've got nothing again. Apologies, I can't do much. My TV is intermittently on and off, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize for us having technical difficulties. Our cheer cam also appears to be doing good, and our clock camera has evidently been knocked or shifted because the clock is no longer visible in our graphic. I do apologize for that as well. We will send somebody to go fix that, hopefully. We'll get a nice shot of the crowd in the meanwhile. Or correction, we'll get a nice shot of our band in the meanwhile. Lovely Governor Livingston High School band. Pageant of Champions, of course, hosted here at Governor Livingston High School. We will be streaming that live on Governor Livingston High School television. It's the only band event we do each and every year. You can tune into that. We get some pretty good bands from all around the region. Elizabeth last year was one of the bands competing, so if you have any interest in marching bands, you can come and see us then. I have my television back for now. If it does go out, I will tell you. But the Tigers set up for an offensive play. Correction, set up for a punt. Nope, they are set up for an offensive play. That's in the 14-minute backfield. Hook will try and go for a pass, and he'll be knocked down. That's David Dorsett, number 76. Getting his big paws up there and saying no, no, no to number 12, Hayden Hook. So, this will bring up a 4th down. The Tigers will punt it away. This one will dribble a bit further than the last and make it all the way down to 21 and get picked up right in between the 21 and the 20. So the Highlanders starting on their own 21 about. And we'll see if we can get the first score of the game in this second quarter. The Highlanders having the more success on offense so far. They've got a few first downs. The Tigers only have one. Highlanders have reached the territory of the Tigers, but the Tigers have not gone down into GL territory, so still no clock, unfortunately. I do apologize. Mateo Laloya will take this one. He'll roll out right, look for a pass. Float one downfield over the head of number 17, Connor Jakubowski. So, pass attempt to open up the drive. Pete Remitra trying to switch this one up. Doesn't seem to work. Two backfield set once more. Fettis and Labisi behind Laloya. He'll take the snap. He'll hand this one off to Labisi. He'll drive it up the gut and make it just back to the line of scrimmage, or bring up a 3rd and long. Just over 11 minutes left in this first half. No scores on the board yet. 13 minutes gone by. The clock is being moved. A bit difficult to set up, of course, because you've got to get a very specific position. Laloya alone in the backfield. 5 wide set. A man gets into the backfield. Laloya will spin away. He'll look to run downfield. Hernandez again. That middle linebacker spot. We'll bring up a 4th and 11 for the Highlanders, and Mason Barker will go out to punt it away. 9:25 left on the clock. Barker, a decent boot on this one. He'll get it just past midfield into Tigers territory, and he'll be fair caught by number 6, Dominic Massaro, in South Plainfield 47. Hope will start under center. He'll hand it off. Run up the gut there. Not sure who was on the carry. That'll be number 5, King Hills. A gain of maybe 1, but not much more than that. There's an injured man down on the field, so. Just under 9 minutes left on the clock. An injured man down on the field. We'll wait for him to be taken care of and taken off, and then we'll return to play. But so far in this game, it's been pretty even as expected. No scores on the board. Both teams trying to go for a run-heavy approach. Highlanders, the first team to make it into opposition territory on their opening drive. Haven't had as much success since then. Had 3 first downs, but our injured man is off the field. So we will return to play as the Pioneers, sorry, not the Pioneers, as Plainfield will be set up for a 2nd and 8. Hook under center again. He'll hand this one off. Dominic Massaro will stretch this one out wide. Will get a first down, break 2 tackles, and finally be brought down on what looks to be about the 35. So making it into Highlander territory for the first time of the Tigers. That's the Tigers' first down. Run attempt there, stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Dominic Massaro on the carry again. And he didn't go anywhere, run backwards as a matter of fact. Correction, did not go backwards. Apologies. Camera angle was a bit odd, but 2nd and medium. Heavy run set. 3 guys in the backfield. Pitch out left. That's number 9, Christian Brown, and he will break up field and get out of bounds just short of a first down from the initial marking. It's about a yard short. This will bring up a 3rd and 1. An important stop for the Highlanders. 7:25 left on the board. If they can get a stop here, they might limit the damage to just 3 points, but as of right now, it looks like the Tigers are on a roll. Heavy run set again. This one might be a QB sneak, but no, it's a handoff. That one to King again, and he looks like he was stuffed in the backfield. Correction. Yes, never mind. King Hills on the carry. He looks like he was stuffed, and that'll bring up a 4th and 1. Big question here, will South Plainfield go for it? Statistically speaking, you probably should, as you get a nice view of Hank the Highlander there. Probably should, but we'll see what does happen. And a timeout here for the Highlanders. Coach Remicchio going over his offensive strategy. Correction, going over his defensive strategy. Also gives a chance for the Tigers to go over their strategy. Just under 7 minutes left, 6:59. A 4th down stop here for the Highlanders could be huge. That 3-man backfield yet again. Hook under center. He'll go, he'll pitch this one out wide. Nice block set there by number 44. And Hills will get this one, correction, not Hills, sorry. Dominic Massaro will get this one upfield, and he'll get the 4th down conversion. And get down to what looks like about the 15-yard line. It'll only be about the 17 from the spot of the ball. A 1st down for the Tigers. They might put the first score up here. Heavy run set. Run up the gut. That's Massaro, and he was driven back, but not after a short gain of just about 4 or 5. Correction, that is not Massaro. I do apologize. That's Tristan Brown. Student section for the Highlanders quieted down a significant bit. Their team on the back foot right now, pushed into their own red zone. Tigers at the 14-yard line. Just a 1st down and a few away from scoring. Another pitch out here. Brown held up before the 1st down for a little bit, but eventually pushed over. And this will be a 1st and goal to set up for South Plainfield. 6:06 left on the clock. Correction, just 5 yards out. Hook under center again. I've seen the same formation. This one will be handed off to Massaro, and he'll get a gain of about 2 maybe before being cut down. Bringing up a 2nd and goal. Highlanders need a stop here. They can't let the Tigers get down to the 1. They can't give up a score. If they do, that could spell disaster. And the Highlanders having trouble scoring. Or, on the other hand, one team scores, maybe it opens up the scoring, who knows. A prolonged drive either way from South Plainfield. Another pitch out here. This one to number 6, Massaro. Gotten to in the backfield. Number 1, Julio Nieto, breaking down on the run and pushing him all the way back to what looks to be behind the 10-yard line. Unless I'm seeing things, but no. Pushed all the way back to the 11, so a 3rd and 11. Correction, a 3rd and goal from the 11 for the Highlanders. Or for the Tigers. Highlanders need to put up a stop. Can't let another big play get run on them. Can't let another pitch play out to the wide sides. Break for a decent gain. Stacking the box. Bring a run formation. Rush up the gut. Pass. Looking right. That one. Dylan Randis in the backfield almost had that. Just bobbled it. A big potential big man touchdown. Slapped his own helmet after he dropped it. He knew what he did. And he knows that he might have just let the Tigers get 3 points out of this drive. But the offense will stay on the field on this 4th down. Although number 12 will trot out there. Hayden Hook. Go for not a heavy set. Motioning number 1 across the formation. That was Jaden Jones, and a potential offsides jump here from the Highlanders. And it is, so that'll move them. That'll move the Tigers 5 yards closer, ultimately. 5 yards closer to scoring a touchdown. Evidently not. Bring him up to the 6-yard line. Evidently no kicking in sight for the Tigers, or at least maybe they don't have a lot of confidence in their kicker. Run play here. This one a handoff to Massaro, and he will get up to the 4th. He'll get up to the 4-yard line, but it'll not be enough. Trying to make something work in the backfield there, shimmying away from 2, but ultimately met the swarm of defenders on the line, and he'll be brought down, and a change of possession is in store. Highlanders take it from, albeit a dangerous position, on their own 4-yard line. Never a place you want to start from running it inside your own end zone, but if GL can set up the run game in this drive, there might not be much that can stop them. Ideally, a long run from Dominic Labisi, a break through the line, anything like that could shift the balance. A few big plays from the Tigers so far, but nothing in excess of 20 or 30 yards. Labisi is in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. He'll cut this one left and get a nice gain up to the 9-yard line. Gain of 5, bring up a 2nd and medium. As we approach the 2-minute warning, same heavy run set in the backfield for the Highlanders. Tommy Fettis motioning across. Another handoff to Labisi, this one to the right. He'll be met at the line, however, and driven backwards, potentially for no gain. As the clock continues to tick down, we'll wait for the spot of the ball. That one looks like it'll be a loss of 1. Or, correction, it won't be a loss at all, but either way, it'll bring up a 3rd and medium. Highlanders not doing too well on 3rd down so far. They've had 1 conversion. They've tried passing it, they've tried running it. The run game seems to be working for them a bit better. Haven't completed a pass yet. And Colin Hughes will come in, so it looks like they actually might attempt to pass. Not sure how advised this one is, but no, an end around. That one handed off to number 11, Michael Donahue, but he'll only get a gain of 1. And bring up a 4th and 3. And from deep in your own territory, this is not one you go for. So Coach Remicchio will call a timeout with 2:33 left on the clock. Not sure what for. Seems like a pretty obvious decision to punt this one away. Maybe trying to go for a gamble if he goes for a 4th down conversion and gets it. That's a huge momentum shift. Could potentially set the Highlanders on the front foot. They've been backpedaling for the past few minutes as the Tigers ran it down their throats. But a 4th down conversion could shift the momentum. Or they could just punt it away, go with the safe option, but with 2:33 left on the clock and a heavy run style from Coach Bill Hamilton of the Tigers, the Highlanders might not get the ball back. So the decision seems to be made to punt it away. Mason Barker in his own end zone. Puts boot to ball on this one, almost gets it blocked. Massaro backpedaling, this one dribbling far into Tigers territory, and that one will be picked up on the 25-yard line by Logan Alasikia. And the Tigers will start deep in their own territory. Not very good for a 2-minute offense, even with those extra 21 seconds. Still run formation. Massaro up the gut. Will be brought down, but not after a pretty good gain. Set up a second and short. Clock will tick down to 2:10 right about now. We'll see if Tigers elect to take this one to the 2-minute warning. Trying to get out, but it doesn't look like they will. Run up the gut attempted, but maybe stopped short. Depends on the spot of the ball. But either way, that'll be our 2-minute warning. 1:47 left on the clock. Referees will call it a first down. And no 2-minute warning. Looked a bit short. Not sure. Apparently referees saw it differently, so Tigers will continue. 1:37 left. Clock shouldn't have stopped, but Massaro up the gut again. He'll be knocked down after a gain of about 5 or 6. Bring up. Looks to be a second and medium. Highlanders having a modicum of success on the defensive line. They've gotten pressure back there a few times. Ultimately not enough to stop the Tigers from rolling through as we tick down to 1:10. Still no scores on the board, of course. A pitch out here to Massaro, sorry. And he'll be chased down by Julio Nieto. Driven out of bounds, but not before getting a first down. Refs will whistle for the clock to be stopped. 53 seconds left. A lot of time ran off. I'm sure they'll try and correct it. And a timeout taken by the Tigers. So, 45 seconds left on the clock. 0-0 is the score between the Governor Livingston Highlanders and the South Plainfield Tigers. My name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining me here on Governor Livingston High School Television. I'll take a short break as we take this time out, and then we'll return. And after the first half ends, don't go anywhere because the Governor Livingston High School Marching Band will be out on the field doing their field show for this year. Should be a pretty good performance. Stick around for that. Both teams back out on the field from this timeout as we get ready to see what happens in the last 47 seconds. Hook looks to throw, airs this one out left. That one knocked down, caught by Massaro. Looks like there might have been a hold there. The referees will figure out what the infraction is, and we'll see whether we move this ball forward or back. Hurdle's uncommon in high school, but a beautifully executed one there from Massaro. and deliberation. It'll be a penalty against the Tigers, not sure what for, but 33 seconds left, and they'll be back all the way to the 40-yard line, or just short of it. Else we go at the 38. They'll get a first down on what was an absolute miracle of a play. Tipped, then bobbled, then caught, then run down, then a hurdle. But a handoff here to Mazzara again. That one stretching left. Not much success as he's brought down after just making it back to the line of scrimmage. Clock will continue to run as he was brought down inbounds, and timeout called by the Tigers with about 20 seconds left, but clock ran down to 18, so. South Plainfield trying to dial something up here. Coach Hamilton needing something big for the last 20 seconds. He's almost back to 40-yard line. Certainly out of field goal range. We haven't seen a field goal attempt from either team, despite them both getting into what would typically be field goal territory. Either no kicker is present for South Plainfield, or they're just not confident in it. Mason Barker, of course, has missed 2 from 30 yards out, so Coach Remicchio might be a bit hesitant to put him out on the field, especially in a situation where it'll be a close game and 3 points might just not cut it. So, Hook again. We're going to pass. Sorry, not Hook. This will be number 14. Not sure who that is, but that one will be thrown downfield and picked off. That's number 3, Parker Chatfield, with the interception with 11 seconds left. And that'll stop it going forward for the Tigers. That was Lucas Hobb on the throw, trying to go downfield, came up way short of his receiver and right into the hands of a leaping Parker Chatfield, and he'll get an interception on that one. Chatfield, a sophomore. This Highlanders team, pretty sophomore heavy this year. Not a whole lot of seniors or juniors, but that'll be Chatfield's 3rd interception on the season. He's had 2 already. Team as a whole only having 2. He makes up all of their interceptions, and this one will be kneeled out by Mateo Laloya as we see the clock run out past 5 seconds. As I've said, don't go anywhere as your Highlanders make their way off the field, as the marching band will be making their way onto the field to be performing their field show for this season. And it should be a good one. The Highlanders, of course, state championship band multiple times in the last few years. Highly competitive. Of course, before that, we'll see a performance from the cheerleaders as well. Stick around for both those. My name's Nathan Fober. Thank you for joining us here on Governor Livingston High School Television on either YouTube or Facebook. And be sure to come back for the second half. Should be some good football ahead.
You're on the blue or?
I'm on the yellow. You guys are on the red.
You
guys are on the red.
That's what
Hey guys, can you slide back this way? You guys split the difference. That's good. Last time. This side. Can you go right here? Is there another set of mics? Do we have a mic cord for this? Yep. A little closer, that's good. Where do you want this?
Right where it was, actually.
Oh, it was over here.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We moved you guys, that's all.
All right.
When the outlet comes, plug in the rolling. I said when it comes, I don't know where it is. Yeah, we need an outlet. Where's the red outlet? You got it out of that? Hold. Cord is right on the floor. Let's go down. Good show, good show. Power up. Power's on. We're good. That's wireless. That's it.
Presenting their 2025 program, Canvas of the Imagination, the New Jersey Marching Band Directors Association is proud to present the Governor Livingston Junior Marching Band.
Governor Livingston Howler Band. Please welcome back the Tigers to the field of play.
Here is the 50-50 raffle. If you're a 50-50 ticket holder, please listen up for the 50-50 winner. The winner is ticket number 740133. That's 740133.
Erica, I'm just putting this back for her.
740133.
Yeah, exactly.
The unique board order.
Good?
Please welcome the Islanders back
I'm with
to
you
the
guys,
field
we're
of
good.
play.
You good, dude?
No, but yeah. I was next second. I got these.
Once again, ticket number 740133.
Do you need something, Cameron? Do you need something? You know you're good.
Earlier this evening, the Islanders recognized the GL girls volleyball team on their Group 2 sectional title. Congratulations to the GL girls volleyball team on their Group 2 title. The Islanders also recognized the GL baseball team on their Group 2 state title and undefeated season and ranked number 1 in the state of New Jersey. Congratulations to the GL baseball team.
Lauren, lock in, bro. Julio, right here, bro. Go get that shit. Go get that shit. I got you. You got that. You got that.
The winner goes up to the merchandise table owned by Snapchat. 740-133. 740-133.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Governor Livingston High School. My name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining us here as we get ready to kick off the second half of this matchup between the Governor Livingston Highlanders and the South Plainfield Tigers. Nice halftime performances there by our varsity cheer squad and our marching band. Give our props to them, and Mason Barker will trot out onto the field for only the second kickoff of this game. Usually, I'm announcing a lot of kickoffs, but this time not so many. This is only the second to kick off the second half. No scores yet. 0-0 on the scoreboard, and 12 minutes on the clock as we get ready to kick off this second half of play. And Mason Barker gets us underway with a dribble kick here. That one fielded cleanly by number 8. Apologies, I don't have my roster in front of me. Number 8, Aiden Noblicila. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced, so I'm going to go Noblicila. Coach Bill Hamilton, his offense will trot out onto the field as he will get ready on the first play of the second half, and the referees will whistle for a stoppage of play before plays even started. And they'll debate something. Swap out the ball, I suppose. Not quite sure what the purpose of that is, but either way. The swap out the ball we'll play with, and Hook will get us underway with a sweep. That one to Dominic Massaro, and he'll get a gain of about 3 before being brought down. The Tigers started with pretty good field position, correction, gain of 2, so a 2nd and 8. Tigers started with pretty good field position, started on the 40-yard line. Probably one of the best field positions they've gotten all day. We'll see if they can put points up on the board with it. Another pitch play here, this one to number 1, Jaden Jones. He'll stretch this one outside, wide, breaking 2 tackles, finally brought down by, I believe that was number 54, it's Dylan Cisco. And short of first down by about 2 yards it looks like, so it's 3rd and 2. Off to some high stakes plays right out the gate of the second half. Hook in the backfield again, no running backs behind him. We'll have a motion across though, he'll hand this one off to Massaro, fake the hand off to Massaro, and hand it up the gut to Jones, and Jones will be driven back. No gain on the play. This will bring up a 4th and 2, maybe even a 4th and 3, depending on the spot of the ball. It always seems to depend on the spot of the ball, doesn't it? But the difference of a few yards could be the decider for whether or not Coach Hamilton decides to go for it. Looks like he will. Or, no, he won't. I'll elect to bring out the punt team. Oh no, sorry, correction. That's Hook under center. Oh no, it's not Hook under center. Apologies. That was number 3, Julian Hernandez under center. And he handed it off to Dominic Massaro. Spotted the ball, it's all up to now. South Plainfield says they got the first down, but the Highlanders insist otherwise, and the referees agree. So the Highlanders will get a stop on 4th down. Close out the first drive of this second half, and potentially set up their own drive. Pretty good field position already into Tigers territory on the 49-yard line, on that far, or on that near hash, I suppose.
Guys, we need water over here. Guys, we need water over here. Please.
BC. The backfield along with Tail Laloya. Laloya gets the handoff from Hughes, and Laloya gets a gain of maybe 1 before being brought down, setting up 2nd and 9. So Hughes will stay at the QB spot. Labisi behind him. Laloya out of the game. A motion fed us across the formation. He'll drop back to pass. Decent hold up. He'll get a pass out to Laloya. Sorry, Labisi. Labisi really pushed out of bounds around the first down marker. Maybe just beyond it. No, they'll say 2 yards short. 9:02 2 left on the clock as he pushed out of bounds.
Troy, watch when they call you out.
So a third down and short. Islanders bring a heavy run formation, 2 wide receivers out to the near side. BC and Maloya in the backfield. Hughes will go with the silent count and draw 2 offsides. And that will be enough for the Highlanders' first down once the referees move the ball. The Highlanders move them chains. No band, unfortunately, to play their little jig, but a first down nonetheless. So, as I got boosted up a lot there. I'm not sure who's on audio right now. A new first down for the Highlanders. Maloya will be in at the QB spot. Fettis to his right, Labisi behind him. Fettis and Labisi will act as a lead blocker. Maloya bumping off Labisi, but ultimately spinning his way back to the original line of scrimmage and bringing up a 2nd and 10. So GL managing to get some momentum here. They're just outside the 35-yard line on the 36. Still out of field goal range. Unknown what Mason Barker's field goal range is. If it really comes down to it, Coach Michio might call him in a dire situation to put 3 up on the board. Doesn't look like this will be a high-scoring one, but Labisi will get the handoff here, and he'll be caught in the backfield. That was number 2. Apologies, I have to go look at my roster. Brandon DeGeronimo. Brandon DeGeronimo on the stop. And a tackle for loss. So, a long third down here for the Highlanders. Number 12, Colin Hughes will step into the game. Dominic Labisi behind him. 2 receivers to his right and 2 receivers to his left. Promotion Mateo Laloya in front of him. Laloya will run out. Labisi getting blown up on the block. Hughes trying to run for it. Squeaks through 2. Gets down the left sideline. He'll rip this one down the sideline into the end zone for a touchdown, Highlanders. First points on the board coming in the 3rd quarter. Bit later than you would have liked, but the Highlanders get it done nonetheless. And the crowd is certainly excited for that one. Dominic Labisi blown up in the backfield on the block, facing 2 defensive linemen, overwhelming pressure. Colin Hughes slips through 2, not even touched. Skirts his way into the end zone. Just couldn't get a hand on his frame. Of course, Hughes coming in at 5'8". Not a whole lot to hold on to there. And a false start on the PAT, not something you see often, as Mason Barker went for a bit of a limp kick there. Hence why he missed it, didn't swing all the way through. We have false start on the Highlanders, and this will push him back, which is not very good, of course. Mason Barker, having missed a few from 30 yards out, he'll now be moved to about Now he'll be moved to a 32-yard, sorry, not a 32-yard. He'll move to a 27-yarder or move back up because it was supposed to be only a 5-yard penalty. He'll be moved to a 25-yarder. Take his steps. Not sure who the holder is, actually. But kick, hold, and that one is blocked. Knocked into the ground and play blown dead. So, only 6 points on the board for the Highlanders. Extra point block. We saw a lot of blocks in the NFL last week, as a matter of fact, too. And we'll see one here in the high school football game. Not uncommon in the NFL and uncommon in high school football, especially that an extra point gets blocked. But in a game where 1 point might make the difference, that's a big play. So, Mason Barker, as I said, not a lot of kickoffs today, but we'll get another kickoff here, as unfortunately our scoreboard has gone away because we have no clock. Our clock cam is currently being moved around. Not exactly sure what's happening, and it's just frozen, which is lovely. By the way, Mason Barker will kick this one away. Short kick to the sideline, and that one will unfortunately dribble out of bounds. Although, maybe that's by design. Not exactly sure. So a kick out of bounds penalty will be called there. Not sure what's happening. I suppose a kickoff redo is called for. I'm honestly not sure what the penalty is for a kickoff out of bounds in the high school game. I'm only sure at NFL. Don't even know at college. I believe it's just a regular 15-yard penalty or a placement up to 40, but not sure either way. Evidently it'll call for a re-kick, and Mason Barker will boot this one away once more. That one dribbling and touched before going out of bounds. Highlanders insisting that it was touched. We'll see if the referees agree. They seem to for right now, so. Ball will be placed where it went out of bounds. And the Tigers will get their second possession of this half and try and look for a response to the Highlanders touchdown just a few minutes ago. Appears to be some deliberation Appears to be some deliberation going on between the referees, who are nicely hiding from the view of our camera in between all the players. We're, I believe, just waiting for them to agree on the placement of the ball. They seem to have put it down on, this could be the 44-yard line. Tigers starting inside their own territory. And we'll get a whistle for play to start, so. Oh, run up the gut once more for the Tigers. Not sure who was on the carry in this one. Try and see. Not sure who was on the carry, but gain of, looks to be 3 or 4. So a second and medium for the Tigers. Highlanders defense managing to get a stop on 4th down, setting up that touchdown from Colin Hughes. Still no scoreboard. Pitch out here to the right to Massaro. Brought down from behind finally after breaking a tackle, being touched by Sean Sacamani. That'll be, I believe that was Mateo Laloy on the tackle. But we'll hold him up just short of a first down. Or so it seems for now. 3rd down and 3. Another potentially big stop for the Highlanders. Although in this short down and distance, even if it does come to a 4th down, which it seems like it will, only a gain of maybe 1 for Daniel Massaro. In a short down and distance, as I've said, the Tigers seem to be eager to go for it, and it looks like they will be eager to go for it still here. No look to put the punt team out on the field. 4th and 1. We're down in distance. Another heavy set, hook under center. He'll look to pitch this one out right. Potentially spinning away from one, getting backfield. Number 9, Christian Brown could break away from one tackle, couldn't break away from the second. And that'll be another 4th down turnover for the Tigers. Disaster in this second half. Haven't been able to get more than a 1st down in a drive. The Highlanders offense will check back onto the field and look to put more points up on the board and secure their lead. Loya in the backfield, Labisi behind him. He'll take this one, hand it off to Labisi. He'll run this one up the gut. He'll cut right. He'll be tripped up by the ankles and finally brought down after a gain of what looks to be about 4 into Tigers territory. Or a gain of only 3, 2nd down and 7 set up. Loya running back out. He'll actually go for a 4-wide set. Trips to his left. He'll take this one and hand it off to Labisi nonetheless, who will slip away from one tackler but ultimately get caught up in the mess and get down to what looks to be about the 43-yard line, although if I had to guess, they'll spot him back at the 44 because why wouldn't they? And they will. So, a 3rd and 4 for the Highlanders. Fortunately, no clock anymore. I do apologize for that. I'll try and get some time readouts when one of our cameras gets the clock in sight. But for right now, we have no such luxury. So, Loya with Labisi behind him once again. 4 wide receivers, nobody on the line of scrimmage. A heavy set, looks like blitz coming from the Tigers. Loya will keep this one for himself, trying to make it move. It'll get caught up from behind after just a gain of 1. Set up a 4th and 2. Just waiting to see if Mason Barker will run out onto the field. It looks like Coach Remicchio will elect to punt this one away. Or not. Dominic Labisi will get a keeper on this one. He'll go for the throw over the top. He's got a man downfield. Number 85, Mark Caparelli. The first reception of the game. A fake on the Wildcat formation. Dominic Labisi in. A gamble there. A jump pass over the top, and it works. The Highlanders convert a 4th down and get further into Tiger territory. And this one might be dangerous. Tommy Fetta sprinting off the field there, evidently needing to get that sub off. And number 10, Mark D'Angelo, will check back on as Mateo Loya stays in at the quarterback position. Haven't seen Hughes in this drive. Usually on a 4th or 3rd down we do see him, but not yet. Loya will hand this one off to Labisi, who'll go up the gut and get stopped around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1, spun down after meeting a swarm of Tiger defenders. And we have our clock back. So just over 2 minutes left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Just over 14 minutes of play left in the game. Highlanders looking to extend their lead to more than 6. Of course, from what we've seen so far, it looks like getting a tie, or for the Tigers to put up any points, And in order to tie the game at 6, they need to get a touchdown. From what I've seen, I'm not sure if they don't have a field goal kicker on the roster. If they don't have a kicker on the roster, I'm not sure if their kicker is injured. Not sure what the story is, but 2 in the backfield for Laloya. Tommy Fettis to his left, Labisi to his right. Fettis will set up a running block along with Labisi for Laloya. Laloya will start this run downfield and make it all the way to, it looks like, the 13-yard line, maybe just the 14. As we get down to 1:15 left in the game. I can't see the down and distance marker. Looks like it will not be a first down. It'll be just short. So 3rd down and 2. Kicking a field goal now under 1 minute from the 14-yard line. If the Highlanders elect to kick a field goal here, it'll be from 30 yards out. Might be a bit shaky. And Dominic Labisi in the backfield again. And he'll run it right up the gut. Tommy Fettis lead blocking from Labisi, tucking the shoulder and getting down to the 5-yard line. As we have 38 seconds out on the clock. And the Highlanders get their first down on the 3rd down conversion. So, into the red zone for the first time today for the Highlanders. Of course, that Colin Hughes touchdown being ripped from outside the red zone. First time into the red zone. 15 seconds left. Laloya back in the game. Elijah Garcia behind him. 10 seconds left. Will Laloya look to snap it? He will. We'll hand this one off to Garcia to the right. Garcia will cut it up the middle. We'll get close to the touchdown and over the line. Elijah Garcia. Develop and then cuts this one up the gut, keeps his feet moving, and drives into the end zone for the 2nd touchdown of the game for the Highlanders. Still no points on the board for the Tigers. A 12-0 lead for Governor Livingston. So the 3rd quarter now kicking off as well. As an injured man down on the field. He will get back up. That's number 56, Caden Daniel. Glad he is all right. He seems to be walking off under his own power, just a little bit of a limp. And the Highlanders going for a 2-point conversion. Need this one to extend the lead to 14 to prevent 2 field goals and 2 extra points. Force a 2-point conversion from the Tigers at some point if they want to take the lead. If they're fine with tying it, they can go for 2 extra points if they get this, but of course, that all depends on the Highlanders getting this 2-point conversion. And a heavy run up the gut. Dominic Labisi trying to drive his way forward, but no such luck. Will be stopped short of the end line, the goal line. And no two-point conversion for the Highlanders, so it'll stay a 12-0 lead. And we'll take a short break for the 3rd quarter.
This is our game. Get the ball back. We win that shit. It's our game. Get the ball back.
So as we get ready to commence the 4th quarter, we'll get it ready. We'll get it going with the kickoff from Mason Barker. So he comes out for the 3rd time today. 3 kicks in 1 half, and he'll let this one dribble. It'll go out of bounds at the 31-yard line, and that will draw a flag for kickoff out of bounds, evidently. South Plainfield learning not to make contact with those kicks. Maybe trying to force a deep kick from Barker and try and get some kind of return, as a few marching band members out on the track. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but looks like one of our drummers is going upside down, quite literally, as we get ready to redo the kickoff. But that is Leo Buckley upside down, doing a bit of jig 2 action, being held up by, I believe that's Ian Williams, Arav Mizra, and I believe that's Mateo Vergara holding up the drum, and Barker kicking that one right into the hands of number 28 for South Plainfield. That was Vincent Gerardo getting hit in the chest with the ball. It didn't look like he was expecting it. Honestly, who would be? You're not getting expected to get hit in the face with a football if you're on frontline return duties, but Barker evidently not going deep on this one. "12 minutes left, or just under, in the game. A 12-point lead for the Highlanders. The Tigers need to put a point on the board in some way if they want to gain back any bit of momentum." Mazzaro going across the formation, almost bobbled with that one. He'll meet number 55, Max DiDonato, after a gain of about 2, and he'll be driven out of bounds. Maybe not the momentum shifter the Tigers would have liked, but every bit they can chip away is a bit closer they are to being able to put one in the end zone and potentially close this lead.
Stay loud! I don't care if you're not in. You support this team.
Man motioning across the formation. That's number 1, Jones. He'll bounce off a tackle, and I believe there was a whistle blown there. Not sure what for. Potentially an injured man, I suppose, but it was number 1, Jones, on the carry. A whistle stopping play. Not sure Jones was down, but potentially referees decided that his momentum was stopped for a long enough time to call for a stoppage of play. An injured man still down on the field.
On the white. Go. Go. On the white. On the white.
'em. Referees having a discussion right now in the middle of the field, or not really in the middle of the field, really on that close side hash. .41 left in the game and left in this 4th quarter, as discussion from the referees. The whistle did blow. That stopped play for the Highlanders, but they'll give the yardage to the Tigers anyways. That's a bold call, and if the Tigers manage to put any points up on the board, Pete Remicchio, I'm sure, will be heated about that one. That is almost certainly not a call you can make in any situation. You can't blow the whistle and then give the yardage when the play continues. Either way, Mazzario going for one up the gut. Gets through a few tacklers and gets a pretty decent gain. No first down, but should be a gain of about 7. And set up a 2nd and 3.
Keep it loud.
11 7 minutes left. Man motioning across the formation. It's Jones. Jones trying to get this one wide. Hoping met and driven out of bounds. Short of the first down, so it'll bring up a 3rd and short. With a 3rd and 2. This is how the referees spot the ball. Another crucial 3rd down for the Highlanders. We'll see if they can get any kind of stop here. They've been able to pull up crucial 4th down stops on the past 2 drives. Man motioning across the formation. Flags will go up from the referees, and we'll probably have an offsides call here, and we will. So it'll be a 1st down for the Tigers. Moving up the formation. He'll hand this one up to Mazzario. He's trying to go around left. He'll be caught up with, not sure who that is, Mateo Laloya, and eventually dragged down. Inside the 10-yard line, so we're ready in the red zone of the Tigers. Highlanders will need to get a stop. They've stopped the Tigers inside their own red zone already before the second half ended. Excuse me, before the first half ended. And they'll look to dial up another stop here. This one crucial to prevent a comeback. Not a huge lead, only 2 scores, and extra points would give the Tigers a 2-point lead if they manage to sink both. By the way, Mazzario handing off across the formation. Will be tapped by Julio Nieto, but ultimately make his way into the end zone for the first score of the game for the Tigers, and this one with the lead cut down to just 6. There he is again. Julio Nieto gets a hand on him, but nobody else able to break over to him fast enough to drive him out of bounds and prevent that touchdown. Kicker will come out on the field, actually. It's number 3, Julian Hernandez. I've called his name already tonight. Snap, kick, and that one is high and good. So, 12-7, a 5-point lead only for the Highlanders. They'll need to get some kind of points on the board if they want to have any kind of security. Otherwise, another touchdown from the Tigers will put them up. 10 minutes left. That'll be a lot of clock to run down. And likely, even if the Highlanders manage to drive all the way down the field and get some kind of score, the Tigers will still get some kind of chance to even the score. They'll still get another possession. So, Highlanders trotting out onto the field to receive this kickoff. Number 3, Julian Hernandez will be out to kick for South Plainfield.
Over here. Hey, we're going 10 through snow, okay? Donahue is at 8.
10 minutes left in this game. Julian Hernandez will kick this one away, and it'll be returned. There's Mateo Laloya breaking away from one tackler, but ultimately swarmed and brought down. They're making it just past the 20-yard line out to maybe the 22. So, not the best field position possible, but they've started inside their own 5-yard line before. The Highlanders are used to dire field position in this game, and they haven't given up anything too bad because of it.
Ben, John, make sure you're running down the sideline. Get guys water.
Hughes in the game. Dominic Labisi standing behind him. He's the only running back in the backfield. Hughes will hand off. Labisi, sorry, no, he'll keep it. He'll stretch this one out to the left. Hughes looks to have a bit of distance, tries to cut this one back, but held up and pulled back after a gain of maybe 7. We'll bring up a second and medium. Hughes will stay out on the field as Michael Donahue checks out and Tommy Fettis checks in. So maybe a more aggressive run formation here from the Highlanders. Tommy Fettis will line up next to Hughes. Labisi, of course, still standing behind him. And whistles blow the play dead. Timeout from the Highlanders. So Coach Remicchio calling a timeout, 9:04 left. A second and medium. And we'll take a short break. So Highlanders will make their way back out onto the field. Tommy Fettis still in the formation, but a bit of a change up. Laloya and Labisi next to Hughes in the backfield. Labisi, sorry, not Labisi. It's Elijah Garcia, I believe, and Elijah Garcia will get the carry up the gut. Runs into his own man, number 75, Theo Tombros. And he'll get taken down maybe just short of the 1 yard line, or just short of the first down line, and that is really far back spot from the referee. That's almost the 3rd and 2. I mean, he was a bit farther up than that, but nonetheless, we'll listen to our Zebras. As the clock ticks down to 8:30, the Highlanders trying to burn as much time as possible and afford South Plainfield no chance to make a comeback. Another handoff here to Garcia. He'll try and break this one out wide. He'll be spun down and reach for the first down, but I think he'll only make it back to the first down marker, especially with the spot of this ball, and that one's also not at all where he went down, but you know, I'll preach to the choir, I suppose. And the Highlanders will stay out there. Still dangerous position if they give this one up. So they'll punt it away. Correction, nope, they'll have Dominic Labisi out there under center to take the snap. And he'll dive up the gut for this one, moving his feet, driven forward. The Highlanders think it's a first down. Looks like it is. He got up pretty far and then was driven back, but with the way the referees are spotting this ball, I don't think he'll have the benefit of the doubt. That is also not where he went down still, and the referees will call it a stop on 4th down. The advance of the ball is supposed to end where the ball lands, but evidently the referee is going with the feet of the players for no apparent reason throughout this whole game, but so the Highlanders will be forced back onto the defensive end with only a 5-point lead, and the Tigers looking to drive. Pizarro gets a handoff. Dorsett breaking into the backfield, and he'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Sean Sacamani and a whole swarm of Highlanders. So, 2nd and 13 in store for the Tigers. 6:50 left. We're almost 6:50. Now we'll get there. Highlanders will need to have a stop. A score might just kill their chances of winning this game. Another handoff. Another sweep to Mazzaro. He'll get picked up and dropped to the turf. Julio Nieto and Max DiDonato combining for the tackle on that one. Tigers also looking to drain the clock now. They're on offense. I believe they can score, but with a 3rd and long, they'll have to dial up a pass play, and that hasn't been reliable for either team this game. Still waiting for a minute to get out onto the field, and whistles will blow for a timeout from the Tigers. Just took too long to call the play there. 5:49 on the clock, and they'll need to potentially reconsider their offensive path. A run might just not cut it. If they manage to get it far enough, it would cut it, but a close game as expected. These two teams pretty evenly matched. Highlanders took a 12-point lead, up a bit, but lead now cut down to 5. The Tigers, with 5:49 left on the clock, will look to drive and get a touchdown to take the lead. So, 3rd and 11. Motion across the formation. Mazzaro faking the handoff. Hook. Knockdown pass again. That one going backwards. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Caparelli once more. I've said his name so many times I can't even count it. Coming up clutch again. The Tigers will need a 4th down conversion now. That defensive line all broke through. Not a chance in the world for Hook to get that pass off cleanly. And it'll be batted down. Caparelli went to pick it up. Apparently thought he forced a fumble, but referees blow it dead. And trust me, I know a thing or two about fumbles on what should be incomplete passes. Just go back to that week 2 game, or don't. A throw back across the formation here from Hook. Nobody on the weak side. That'll be number 44. He'll break down the field, finally tripped up. And a 4th down conversion tripped up by Elijah Garcia. That is not what the Highlanders wanted. A wide receiver screen out to the weak side. Defensive line broke through, but everybody in the secondary was tricked. Elijah Garcia managing to luckily take down the runner, but the Highlanders not out of this situation yet. You know, you might argue that that pass that was knocked down actually was a fumble. I might argue that based on the refereeing I've seen of the past few weeks, but they'll go for a handoff up the gut. Driving forward, held up at the 1-yard line, no touchdown yet. But it's looking pretty bad. 5 minutes left on the clock. The Highlanders might not have enough time to mount a comeback if the Tigers do get into the end zone. A 2nd and 1. Or not a 2nd and 1, a 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Clock still ticking down. The Tigers get it in here. It'll be just over 4 minutes left on the clock for the Highlanders, and whistles will blow. Not sure if there's a flag on the field, but no flag, but evidently. Correction, there's a flag on the field. It'll be a false start on the Tigers, so push back to the 6-yard line. The Highlanders might just have life on defense. They'll need to do everything within their power. It's a 2nd and 6. They've got 3 downs to survive, 3 downs to maintain a lead, and the Tigers have 3 downs to complete. Not a great comeback, but a 12-point comeback nonetheless, and get their 3rd win on the season. The Highlanders, of course, even if they do get this stop, still have the matter of making it out unscathed, trying to burn away however much is left on the clock. As Hook will roll right, try and go for a pass, and he'll be brought down. Knee was on the ground. That should be a sack. And the referee will call it. Back to the 11-yard line. This one just got a bit more difficult for South Plainfield. A beautiful break into the backfield. Just got him wrapped up. Hook trying to throw the ball away. No such luck. Knee was already down on the ground. 3:30 left in the game. It's make or break over these next 2 downs for both teams. Highlanders can seal the deal. Tigers can take a lead. I suppose not really seal the deal, but Highlanders can maintain their lead. As a handoff here to Mazzaro. He'll run out right. He'll get around the edge, and there's a flag for holding. That one's going to be called back. Holding on the wide receiver. You can see it on your screen. No doubt about it. That'll push him 5 yards further back, and that'll make this one even more difficult. It should push them back to, well, we'll get a replay here. We'll see the motion across. You'll see number 1 there, just holding Julio Nieto. Sorry, not number 1, that's number 23, and just holding on to Julio Nieto. Saw the flag get thrown and then clapped. You know, you love to see it. Julio Nieto also kind of getting hold, jersey ground from behind. Flag came a bit later, whether or not it was that penalty on number 23 or the penalty against Julio, but penalty against Nieto. But under 3 minutes left from the 14-yard line. A handoff here to number 1, Jones. Jones trying to drive up the middle. He'll be brought down at what looks like the 6-yard line. So it'll be 4th and goal from, I believe it's actually the 7, 2:40 left. The Highlander defense will bring Sean Sacamani off the field. They'll get a man subbed on. But all the pressure in the world will be needed. It'll be, sorry, this is not from the 7-yard line. This is from the 12. The Highlanders will just need to stop a 12-yard gain from happening. They'll be extra vigilant likely for that reverse wide receiver screen that was thrown to convert the 4th down previously on this drive. And the clock will continue to tick down in 2 minutes. Of course, the Tigers can take it down. And that'll be the 2-minute warning. The Tigers will take a timeout. Or that would be the 2-minute warning, but the Tigers will take a timeout. 1:59 will read out on the clock. And now, water break as the Highlanders prepared for what might just be the breaking point in this game. If the Tigers get into the end zone, it might be game over, but a stop could signal victory. And very well signal celebrations here on the hill. Maybe another storming of the field, who knows? We had that last year after a nice win over these South Plainfield Tigers, but with 2 minutes left, still the matter of running out the clock for the Highlanders. South Plainfield, I believe, has 1 timeout left, so they'll still, the Highlanders will still need a 1st down. Even if they get the stop here and deep inside their own territory, that'll be a dangerous one. The Tigers will look to bring all the pressure possible. So either way, another heavy backfield set, motion across. Mazzaro running. Will be met in the backfield, not by Julio Nieto, but it will finally be brought down. And out of bounds by Max DiDonato, just wrapping up that tackle beautifully. And a 4th down stop for the 3rd time for the Highlanders. 1:53 left on the clock. There might still be a chance for a Tigers comeback, but as the clock will tick down through these next minute and 53 seconds, that'll become increasingly unlikely. First and 10 at the 5-yard line, skirting dangerously close to having a touchdown broken and losing that lead, but the Highlanders will stay with 5 points up, looking for their first win at home this season. Of course, first 2 games of the season played at home. Also, their first 2 losses have been on a 2-game winning streak since then. Island Kennedy and North Plainfield. Now South Plainfield could be the next one to go down and boost the Highlanders to 2-3, or 3-2. Labisi in the backfield. Pressure coming. He's taken down. Only got up to the 4-yard line. Not what the Highlanders were looking for. But the clock will continue to run. South Plainfield does not look inclined to take their timeouts. The clock will tick down. The Highlanders will take all the time they can, and if they need to, they'll punt it away as far as possible and hope to not have a touchdown returned on them. AJ Whitehead of the New Providence Pioneers managed to return 2 touchdowns off punts in their game in the second week of the season. That was their second loss. Also saw their first points be scored, and a timeout called from the Tigers, so they'll call or delay a game against the Highlanders, actually. So maybe the Highlanders should have called a timeout there. But 1:03 left on the clock. The Highlanders have 2 more plays to run the clock down, at which point there should be only 3 seconds left. But there's still the matter of getting out of their own end zone, not suffering a safety or anything like that. Now that I've said that, I realize I probably shouldn't. Tigers looking to bring pressure. Laloya will keep it. He'll stretch it out wide. We brought down from behind. The Tigers will look to call for a safety, but won't get the call. Laloya was up to maybe the 5 or 6 yard line. Or no, actually not the 5 or 6 yard line, the 3 or 4 yard line. Looks like it'll only be the 3, but a timeout called. Not sure by who. I believe it's Coach Remicchio. Not sure why he'd call a timeout here. There's 53 seconds left. You'd want to run down the clock and then take your timeout. This is not the time to be calling a timeout. You've got to hold off. You can't run the clock down now. You've got to hold off the Tigers for an additional amount of time now. And that, of course, is not a guaranteed prospect. They managed to break a run on some kind of trick play, as the Highlanders have, or as they did on that reverse screen that they dialed up on 4th down. You could face defeat here. 53 seconds. Game on the line. Mateo Laloya will drop his mouthpiece, pick it back up, and make his way out onto the field. From the 2 yard line, the Highlanders looking to run. The Tigers looking to get all the pressure they can, force a stop. It'll be a handoff to Tommy Fettis. He'll go up the gut and get this one down to what should be the 4 yard line. They'll probably spot it at the 3. He fell down to the 4, and it will be the 3 yard line. It's bad, but it's consistent at least. That's all you can ask. The Highlanders will tick down the clock. It's a 4th down now. They'll have to tick this one down to some odd amount of seconds, somewhere in the teens. Perhaps they'll take a delay of game to tick the clock down as much as they can. Referee just waiting to call either a delay of game or a timeout. Clock will get down to 10 seconds now, and a timeout will be called with just under 9 seconds left by the Highlanders. So they'll probably trot Mason Barker out on the field here. Look to get his punt away and hope that he gets a big enough boot to it that they can waste away the next 8 seconds. A field goal won't do it for the Tigers. They'll likely have 1 or 2 plays left in the books if they run them both quickly. But they can't kick a field goal. That'll still put them down 2 points. So it's a touchdown or nothing for South Plainfield. As you see Owen Clacy out there on the field, shout out Owen Clacy. You can go visit him on Instagram at Owen Clacy Media. You can also go And check out me on Instagram at Nate Philbricks Productions. That's Philbricks, Philbrix. That's OwenClacey.media with a period. Or you can just search up Owen Clacey. Real good photographer. You can go check him out. I also do photography along with commentating. You can check me out. I've already mentioned that. But 8 seconds left. Back to the game. 9 if you want to round up. The Highlanders looking to punt this one away. Mason Barker in his own end zone. We'll just hold it and then run out for the safety. So actually, this was an option. That was something we can see. 4.6 seconds left. Of course, you would have hoped to burn a little bit more clock with that, but you've seen it happen before. Evidently, the Highlanders not going to run a hold, or not going to hold on that play in order to not draw a penalty and potentially incur any of the specialties that go along with that. But Mason Barker will now have to punt this one away. And with 5 seconds left, it'll only be one play for the Tigers, likely a Hail Mary. They'll put their biggest arm out on the field and they'll look to chuck it down, hopefully into the end zone. Or maybe they'll die up some kind of trick play, hook and ladders. Not out of the picture either. The defense seems to come down to that for the Highlanders once more. Got a 4th down stop, and that was just enough. And now they will need to get another stop on the kickoff return, or punt return, I suppose, now. Although Mason Barker has a standout there, I guess he will kick off the ball from, it looks to be about his own 20-yard line. Evidently no punting after safeties in the high school game. New to me, I've never seen a safety in the high school game, to be honest, so new experience for us all. So 4.6 seconds left. Mason Barker needing to kick this one away and take 4 seconds off the clock. He'll dribble this one up the middle. The clock didn't start. The clock never started. That one should be the end of the game, and it will be. The Highlanders, South Plainfield will insist that the game should have more time on the clock, and the referees will say so, but the clock never started running. They should restart the play. There was no clock on the play. It should be a replay. But the Tigers looks like they'll have a chance out on offense. Referees in this game. I mean, that's textbook. You don't start the clock, you don't start the play. They'll put 2 seconds on the clock. That kickoff took more than 2 seconds off the clock after it was kicked. Certainly more than 5. So a Hail Mary chance for the Tigers. A potential to win it in dramatic fashion. A 3-point lead for the Highlanders. A 5-wide set. Sorry, not even a 5-wide set. Only 4 wide. Looking to throw it. That one will be caught as the clock will run out, but it'll be knocked out of bounds. And the Highlanders will pick up the win. Governor Livingston picks up their 3rd of the season, move to 3-2. South Plainfield will move to 2-3. And your Governor Livingston Highlanders are victorious on this beautiful Friday night. My name is Nathan Philbrick. Thank you for joining me today for this thrill-over match. Low score, but a thriller nonetheless. Thank you for joining me. My name is Nathan Philbrick. You've been watching Governor Livingston High School Television. If you want to check me out on Instagram, you can search me up at Nate Philbricks Productions. That's Philbricks, Philbrix. That's all for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And as well, thank you to our crew here for Governor Livingston High School Television, as well as our advisor, Joe Voorhees, as we get our handshake line going. I've got nothing else. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen.